Hi there, it's Rose. Welcome to my channel. Today I am here to share what I have created for the hashtag Freaky Friday. Now this is an open collab and it is hosted by the amazing Craft Adventures with Susan Tootsie Tucker. Please be sure to check out Susan's channel. I will have that in my description box. This is a super fun collab, and I'm so excited to be participating. This is week number 2, and I'm going to show you what I created. First, I will show you this little, this is my little Freaky Friday mascot. In truth, he has been with me for probably 5 or 6 years. I picked him up at a Michael's that long ago. He was one of those cash register impulse buys that I never regretted. I love him. He's kind of, you can see he's one of these like little stress ball things. But anyway, he's always on my craft desk because I love Halloween. I think he's adorable. And he is my Freaky Friday little mascot. That's what I'm calling him. So I'm going to start out by showing you what I used to create with this week. And my inspiration, I'll start out with the stamps, was this stamp from Rubber Hedgehog. And it is this little kind of, what do you kind of call a frog? Is it a toad? Let's say he's a toad with his trick-or-treat bag. I think he's exceptionally freaky because you don't often see, occasionally you see a frog trick-or-treating, but not too often. So I'm going to put him in the freaky category. And I just love him. A good bit of my Halloween stamps are wood-mounted stamps. But as you know with me, I don't discriminate. I also have clear stamps, and I've got red rubber cling, and you name it, I have it as far as stamps. But quite a few of my Halloween stamps are wood-mounted, so he is one of those, and I really love him. I don't get to use him as often as I would. I'm trying to think about how I can maybe incorporate him on some Christmas tags. Just kidding on that one, but he's very cute. So he was part of my inspiration for this week. And along with him, I wanted to make it exceptionally freaky, so I added these eyeballs. This is kind of like somebody staring. You can kind of build your own story around this one. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but there are no markings at all on this wood stamp. So I don't know the manufacturer. I've had it for a very, very long time. I probably picked it up at a stamp fest because, you know, how could you pass that up? It's a little freaky. And I thought he would be perfect. I'm calling him he. I'm not sure. Let's call him Max. So those two stamps, my Copics, some Distress inks. Of course, if you're going to do Halloween, I've got Distress ink and Vintage Photo. This is the mini. I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black, and I've got some Brilliance Archival Pigment, and that is in Moonlight White. Just a little bit of that. I've got some assorted dies for the layering the pieces up on the card. And now to get into the papers, I used some of these papers that are from Crafter's Companion. And what I did was I actually did something I don't normally do. I stamped directly onto pattern paper. I don't often do it, particularly when I'm going to color with Copics. But for our little toad, I wanted to do that, and I wanted to make my own background with the eyes, so you'll see that as well. Then a couple of pieces of pattern paper that I actually had on my desk. I'm not sure if this is from a recent pad that I shared on Friday Fave paper pads, but in any event, I had these pulled out and on the side of my desk, so I thought they were nice pattern papers for layering up. Of course, I used some black 110-pound cardstock for my card base. It is an A2 size card that I created for this week. So let's get into it and I'll show you what I created. Okay, so here is my Freaky Friday Halloween card for this week. And what I have done here is I have stamped our Mr. Toad on that Crafter's Companion pattern paper. And then, of course, I colored him in with the Copics. And I wanted to have him sort of surrounded by those eyes that I stamp. So I masked him off, and then I started to stamp those eyes all around the paper. So I sort of created my own pattern paper by doing that on the sheet that had the toad, and then also another background sheet that I used as a second piece for layering. I didn't want to just leave the eyes as black and white, so I did tint them a little bit with green Copic just to complement our Mr. Toad. And then I layered both of those up. I popped him up on some foam tape, but I layered both of those pattern papers on the black background paper that I found on my desk, along with that deep grape with the toadstools. I thought that was a nice compliment to have toadstools and Mr. Toad, and it all seemed a little bit freaky and spooky. And then, of course, the card base is the 110-pound Recollection black cardstock there. I inked around all of it with that Distress ink to make it a little bit grungier and to deepen the colors. I didn't want this pink background to be so stark. Now I took a cotton ball and went into that archival Moonlight White Brilliance ink and just went around him a little bit for, I don't know if it's picking up, but a little bit of glimmer, just to make it sort of spotlighted, and really draw your eye into him being the focal point there on the front of the card. Now the inside of the card, it says Happy Halloween, and then of course it's the same die that I use there, that's sort of that ragged edge, and I did deepen that with the vintage photo as well. So that is my Halloween card for this Friday. I hope you enjoyed taking a look. Thank you again to Craft Adventures with Susan Tootsie Tucker for hosting this open collab every Friday. And thanks so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I hope you will consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing the bell notification so you are notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.